we talk about reinvention and versatility, Maduvha Madima is exactly that. She's an artist who has explored a string of music genres, from gospel to kwaito to house to jazz, firmly and unapologetically rooted to her Venda culture as well as her roots. This morning, we're putting the spotlight on this musician, actress and businesswoman, Maduvha Madima. A very good morning to you, madam. Thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Dawn.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. You started with a fantastic song, which just takes me right back to 2006. I cannot believe how time flies. Did you always know that you were, I don't know, affiliated to music or had a connection to music?
Well, I mean, I started singing at the age of 4. I don't think I even had the opportunity to decide whether I will be affiliated or not.
It was part of your journey.
It's just who I am. I don't know life without music. But I must say it's been a beautiful journey.
Now, let's talk about currently. You recently had a collaboration with the great HolywellAmato. That's a big deal on its own. How was that like working with him, and what has it done for you in terms of inspiring your music going forward?
Well, obviously he's passed on the lineage to some of us. I'm not the only artist. I learned so much from him. I think I'm grateful that even before his passing, the conversations that we used to have to merge Chivenda and Jonah, we were able to do that. I will carry him and the lessons and the legacy also for many generations to come. I'm sure even when I've passed, there will be other artists who will say, you know what, because Jonah and Chivenda are quite similar, but also in terms of the sound, because I'm like, while we are busy reinventing ourselves and our sound, let's not forget where we come from. Let's not forget the root of what the African sound is all about.
And I believe you have started a foundation named after the song that you had with HolywellAmato.
Yes.
Why was it important to put together a foundation like that in honor of the late HolywellAmato?
Nyarara Foundation was very important for me because being an artist, I also went through depression. And I didn't know who to speak to. I didn't know who to cry out to. And I thought it would be very selfish of me not to reach out to other people who also need help with regards to that. Nyarara means hush, and we're not saying that will solve everybody's issues because it's very deep. Society is going through depression in a way that it's actually quite shocking. But we are saying primarily also in the arts, let's not lose other artists because they were dying because of depression. Is there a way that we can reach out? And that's what Nyarara Foundation is all about. Is there a way that somebody can open up and get help and be in a better space like I am right now?
Okay, let's move things back to 2006 when Light of My Life came out. I have to say, I was a big fan of the song, big fan of the Revolution Brothers. How did that collaboration come about? Where did you meet the guys, and how did you put that song together?
Well, apparently they saw me on one of the channels. I was doing a house song with Glenn Lewis.
Wow, okay, yes.
And then they were like, we want to work with her.
Specifically you.
To cut the long story short, we got into studio. And funny enough, Light of My Life was not the track that I was supposed to do.
No ways.
I'll tell you, I was supposed to do a gospel house song called Matsohong. And I heard the melody, and I asked them, what? I literally said to them, what is that? And they said to me, oh, it's just a track. I said, you mean it's just a track? 5 minutes, I sat down, I wrote the lyrics, I got into studio. I still wanted to do more. They said, no, it's enough, you can go home, and the rest is history.
No way.
Yes.
That song was a hit. It actually put you on the map, if anything, because I didn't know about you until 2006 when I heard that song.
It did.
And what did that do for the working relationship with the Revolution Brothers? What did that do for you and your career?
Revolution Brothers are my brothers. We're not working together in terms of production right now, but they've always given me the space to explore. Like you were saying, that I've done so many different genres, and also it's because they gave me such a conducive environment to be able to do that. There's nothing as painful as an artist who wants to express themselves express themselves and you are in an environment where you are not allowed to.
Where you're stunted.
I was just given the platform to be, and I will forever be grateful for that.
So what's next on the cards? You got jazz, you got gospel, you got house music. Any more genres you plan to dip into, or what is next for you?
Music.
Just music, more music.
Just more music. I'm in studio. Yes, I've released the single Nyarara featuring HolywellAmato. I am in studio, and it's been such an amazing journey. I cannot say much, but I'm collaborating with artists, more artists also. I love working with African artists, I must say.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. So if you don't know who Maduvha is, I'm gonna just dip into an old music video here, and maybe you might just get an idea of this amazing voice. Let's check out the video. So this is the video with the song that you did with Oliver.
Yes.
Tell me about the video. What's the message of the song?
It's got so many layers. So basically, I'm saying, let's stop being picture perfect while we're dying inside. The storyline was quite heavy. We took forever to shoot. It was not like a one-day shoot. And when the video starts, I am told to go back to my in-laws because, well, I'm acting on the video also. And I think for me that was quite profound to say there's an issue of communication these days when it comes to relationships. Relationships are failing because people don't sit down and put their vulnerability and say, listen, I am going through pain, or you are hurting me. So we are busy reacting, but we are not dealing with the core issues. And sometimes you find that both male and female are going through so much, from a male perspective, from a female perspective. But are we really communicating our fears? Are we really tapping into the core of what's causing our reactions to certain situations, to life, like our reaction towards life when life happens? And there's so much that happens. There's counseling on the video. There's fights, because that's everyday life. That's what happens.
It's real life.
It's real life. But for me, like I said, the core message on it is, can we deal with depression? Can we deal with mental illness? Because
a lot of people don't talk about those things.
People don't want to speak about mental health at all. It's still a taboo. And can we destigmatize the issue also?
Wow, I like that. I really dig that. Now, you're a person that's rooted in your culture and your roots, and even choosing to dress like this and come and give a side of you that we know that you're quite traditional. Why is it important that you want to bring that message across? Because mainstream music these days, and a lot of artists, I don't know, they're about tattoos, they're about, piercings, etc., which there's nothing wrong. But why is it important for you to remain rooted in your culture?
Maduvha Madima.
That's it.
First and foremost. When we talk about culture, when we talk about music, our influences are derived from our culture. This is me. And this is what this for me, I don't have to research. It's just who I am. I'm also quite concerned to say, while we are becoming we are global citizens, what is it that we are selling out there that makes us different as Africans? And I'm not saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with fusing sounds with collaborations or exploring, but let's not forget the core of who we are, because this is how Maduvha can best sell herself out there. This is how, in an authentic way as an African. And I think as South Africa, it's a conversation that we need to also have to say, when we export ourselves as artists, what is it that people will look at and say, I want to go to South Africa because I have seen this. There are certain artists that are doing that, and it's absolutely amazing. And I guess for me, I'm comfortable like this.
I like that.
I love this.
Now, tell me, we've spoken about music, we've spoken about traditions and culture. Acting. we barely delved into your acting career.
Wow.
So tell me, what's on the cards, and what have you done, and how did you get into acting?
Well, I went to School of Arts.
Okay.
I did study drama. I didn't finish, but I did study drama. I've done so much. I mean, I've been in the industry for so long, but I think the highlights that, I mean, what people remember is, for example, the role that I acted on Mubango.
On Mubango.
I was on Gazlam, Ring of Life. I've done a couple of movies. I've also done theater abroad. We used to tour there, like, for about 3 years or so, on and off. I'm currently shooting The River as Minister Joyful. I love acting. I absolutely love acting. It's one of my ultimate, or one of my favorite things to do.
Okay, wow. I like that you got the balance of the two. And do you find that it's pretty difficult to balance music and to balance acting? And how do you do it?
Well, acting, I'm somebody else. That's quite easy. But the music, I'm giving you a piece of my soul and who I am. Now, that's quite intimidating because you cannot hide. Yes, you can put a bit of an act on stage, but you are literally giving people a piece of your soul. So you cannot compare the two. I always say it's like having two kids that are totally different, but they're both yours and you absolutely love them. And that's how I treat it. But I do find a way to merge the two.
Maduvha, thank you so much for joining us on Weekend Dawn. I really appreciate it. Your Instagram, your Twitter, how do I follow your journey and the upcoming projects that you can't talk about?
At Maduvha_Madima, and they have to spell Maduvha correctly, Maduvha.
Yes, there we go, Maduvha Madima.